If you're considering moving to the Tampa Bay area and you don't want to live in downtown, you'd rather live in a suburb area, then this video is for you. I'm talking about the 5 best suburbs in the Tampa Bay area. By the way, I'm Shae Green with Impact Realty Tampa Bay. If you're considering moving and buying a home here, I would love the chance to earn your business, so please go ahead and reach out. Or if you just have questions about the Tampa Bay area or real estate here in general, I would be happy to help. There are dozens of great suburbs in the Tampa Bay area. In this video, I'm going to be covering my top 5, but I'm probably making other videos just because there are so many and I can't cover them all in one video. But these are the suburbs that I've had friends and clients move to and they just love. These are places that are typically nicer and safer, they're family friendly, and just overall great places to live if you are looking for a suburb in the Tampa Bay area. So number 1 is Westchase. So this area is well known as one of the best suburbs in the Tampa area. It's really close to downtown Tampa, maybe about a 25-minute commute. It's also really close to the airport, and you're relatively close to the Pinellas County beaches. For instance, you could get to the beautiful Honeymoon Island in about a half an hour from the Westchase area. Westchase also has good schools, and it's just known for being clean, safe, and family friendly. So I do recommend this area if you want to live in a suburb that's quite close to downtown Tampa. Now, the cons of Westchase is it is very HOA heavy, which is the case with a lot of suburbs here. The HOAs can be pretty strict there. So if you don't want to live in an HOA community, you will have a hard time finding a place to live in Westchase. Also, due to the desirability and the location of Westchase, it can be very expensive. I would consider this one of the more expensive suburbs in the area, but it makes sense because of the location, and the homes are also newer build. You do have homes built in the 90s and in the 2000s, and sometimes you can get brand new construction there as well, but you'll definitely be paying a little bit more per square foot. Okay, number 2 is Eastlake. This is personally one of my favorite suburbs in the area. Eastlake is a little bit further away from Tampa. It's more in the Palm Harbor area, and it's the community to the east of Lake Tarpon. It is about 40 minutes to either downtown Tampa or downtown St. Pete, so you are a little bit further for commute times, but it does have really great schools. When I lived in the Clearwater area, all my friends with kids were wanting to move to the Eastlake, Palm Harbor areas because of the schools here. I know Eastlake High School is ranked really high, and same thing with Palm Harbor University High. Another pro, as I mentioned, it's right next to Lake Tarpon, so there's tons of water sports and activities there, whether it's water skiing, boating, jet skiing. And you also can get lakefront homes there. You will be paying more for that, but it's a really cool area if you're interested in the water sports. There are also a lot of beautiful nature trails in the area. One of my favorite places is the John C. Chestnut Park. It's just a great place to walk and enjoy Florida nature. And overall, Eastlake is similar to Westchase in that it's a clean, nice, safe suburb. It's probably one of the safest places in all of Pinellas County. Now, some of the cons of Eastlake, like Westchase, it is very HOA dominant, and similarly due to this, the homes can be pretty cookie cutter and you're typically not going to be getting a lot of yard space. Because of this, some people opt to live on the other side of the lake in the Palm Harbor area because you can avoid some of those strict HOAs and get a more unique house or more land. Another thing about Eastlake, which this could be a pro or a con, is you feel a little bit secluded over there by the lake. You're kind of in your own community over there, which can be a downside for some people. Okay, the number 3 suburb is the Keystone / Odessa area. I added this in here because although this area might not be at the top of everyone's suburb list, I think it's a really unique suburb, especially if you want more land. So I think this area is so beautiful and green. There's tons of space, you're close to nature, and you won't always have to be in a strict HOA community. Although there are plenty of HOAs in the Keystone, Odessa area, specifically Starkey Ranch is well known as one of the top communities in the country, but there's also lots of beautiful homes that are not in HOAs here, and you can get so much land. It's pretty common to find homes here that are on half an acre, or sometimes you can get multiple acres, which is pretty hard to find in the Tampa Bay area in general. There's also the Starkey Wilderness Preserve here, which has miles and miles of hiking and biking trails. Some of the cons to living in this area is it is a longer commute. It's about 40 minutes to Tampa, and you typically would not be commuting into St. Petersburg if you were living here. And another con for some people, this area does have a pretty rural feel, which is great if you do want a lot of land or if you want a horse property. But if you want more of that city feel with those types of amenities, then this place is probably not for you. Okay, at number 4, we have Carrolwood. I probably could not make a list about the top suburbs without mentioning Carrolwood because it is such a well-known suburb in the Tampa Bay area. This is an older and more established suburb of Tampa. A lot of the homes were built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but because of that, there are less cookie cutter homes. You typically get more land, and it's just beautiful with lots of trees and green spaces. Carrolwood itself also has a close-knit feel. If you talk to someone from Carrolwood, they typically have this strong sense of community with the area and are just proud to be from there. So I think that's what makes Carrolwood especially unique, because it has that tight-knit feel. And they do have a lot of traditions within the community and regular holiday events. And when I say Carrolwood in general, I'm really talking about original Carrolwood and Greater Carrolwood. They are two different areas. And if you're in original Carrolwood, that's actually a pretty small area, and there are lots of amenities like access to Lake Carroll and a lot of cool events that they do there. So depending on where you choose to live within Carrolwood, you will have different amenities. And another great place about the Carrolwood area is it's only about 20 minutes from Tampa. It's a really quick commute. As far as the cons, like I mentioned, the homes here are a little bit older than you'll typically see in some of the other suburbs. It's also very quiet here. That is probably a pro for lots of people, but if you're looking for a little bit more hustle and bustle, then this area would not make sense for you. And then it is quite far from the Pinellas County beaches, so this is more for someone that would be regularly commuting to Tampa and not St. Petersburg. And number 5 is Davis Island. Depending on who you talk to, this is not technically a suburb because it's so close to downtown Tampa, but I did want to add this in here because it's so different than the other places on this list. So Davis Island is literally minutes away from downtown Tampa, but it does have a suburb feel. If you do have a large budget for buying a home, then this is an area that I would recommend, and that's probably the biggest con about this area is that homes basically start in the $1 million range. But this is probably one of the most desirable places to live in all of Tampa. It is very safe as well, and the schools here are great. Plant High School is one of the top rated in the area. In addition to Davis Islands, I would also add in parts of South Tampa, specifically Hyde Park and along Bayshore. For similar reasons, they're extremely nice and safe, and they feel like a suburb. A downside of Davis Island is that you are most likely in a flood zone due to the proximity of the water. So that's just something to consider with flood insurance. Okay, so there's my top 5 suburbs in the Tampa Bay area. I've barely scratched the surface of places to live here, so I will definitely be doing a part 2. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any real estate questions, don't hesitate to reach out. See ya.